Hey everybody, how's it going? Um, Welcome to my office. I came out here today to get some work done. This video is kind of venting, but there's other things I wanted to talk about, and that is emotional abuse. I was hurting for a long time, and I didn't understand where this hurt came from. It's like, why am I so angry? Where is this pain coming from? Like, I couldn't pinpoint it. And then actually, thanks to the roommates podcast YouTube channel, I was able to look at their videos because they're all about improving manhood. I take, I consider myself a man in training. This is not the best I could be, and I don't want this to be where I know I'm not my best at the moment, physically. I'm a little chubby. I was not like this before, but everything accumulated and just something that happened, right? I actually put on my suit because I have to go to the funeral for my uncle. I put on the suit. I bought the suit like 2 years ago, and I was disappointed. I'm stretching out that suit, and I don't fit in it, and I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. That I got myself to this point. Do I want this to change? Absolutely. But I kind of have to, I have to wait for my heart surgery because I am, for it to be excused, what I could be doing right now is I could be eating better. Am I eating better right now? No, because I'm so overwhelmed with all this stress. Remember, I was supposed to get heart surgery, or I was supposed to get a new heart valve, actually today, or actually yesterday. And I was supposed to get discharged from the hospital today, but my cardiologist said, no, we're going to do something else. Wait for someone to contact you. Overall, that ended up working out because I have to take care of my mom. So that wasn't that so much, but I have to wait. But right now I'm prepping because I know after I get my procedure is when the what do you say when the wheels have to hit the pavement? Like I have to get on going and then trying to be a better person. But right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be a better person in my heart. Like I'm trying to be a better person inside, so I could project that outwards and be a better person for myself, but also for everybody else around me. And that stems from the heart. Not just my heart not functioning right now, but also the heart is that thanks to circling back around to the main point. Thanks to the roommates podcast, I was able to identify emotional trauma within myself that I was not able to identify before. And I've had some behavioral issues, and I've wondered where they came from and all that. But when they were talking about like women hate men. Women hate men for sexual abusive things. Like maybe they got sexually taken advantage of when they were younger by a man, and then sometimes what happens is that they grow up and they have this trauma that they haven't dealt with, and they project their anger out towards men because of this victimization. Is that the right thing to do? No, but that's where that mostly stems from. But he was saying that his name is Hafiz. Hafiz was saying that trauma happens in men, not usually sexually, by women. So women project abuse on men. It's rarely sexually. What it is it's emotional abuse. It's emotionally abusive things. But that trauma digs really deep with men, and it's something I don't think gets talked about. When I was talking to one of my friends about this, I was kind of telling her like what my stepmom would say and such, like, and she was kind of saying, someone who loves someone does not use those terminology. They don't say things like that. They don't say things like that. They don't project that attitude. And I knew that. But at the time when I was little, it's just like, well, I have to grit my teeth and man up so my dad could be happy with his wife. My dad died in December, and it's sad that my dad died, but I'm also deeply relieved because I don't have to deal with my stepmom anymore. I don't have to put up with her. I don't have to put up with her words. I just don't have to put up with it, and I'm very relieved. Very relieved. And now that I've identified that she did project emotional abuse towards me, and that did not internalize in myself very well. I hold trauma. I have scars in my heart because of it. And there was a time where I hated women. Like, I don't hate women anymore. And I'm very happy to say that. Because I don't want to hate women. I really, really don't. And I respect women. I love women dearly. I don't want to hate them. And I'm really happy that I've identified the issue so I could work on myself to be a better person. In the earlier part of my 20s and my late teens, I was kind of like, let's I don't know if you've ever heard of MGTOW, whereas men go their own way. And I identified as myself as that, even though I don't really agree with the philosophy of it, because my perception on MGTOW is unhealthy. It's kind of like the opposition towards radical feminism. Though I think I believe in female empowerment, but I look at radical feminism and I think that's very unhealthy. And I think MGTOW is also very unhealthy. I think it's very unhealthy for men to think that way. Like, I understand why they might think that way, but I thought it was unhealthy. Unfortunately, I kind of followed that doctrine where it's like, oh, I don't need a woman. I'll just be on my own. And I kind of came to realization that that's not true, and that's not truly what I want. And I could see why I kind of had this hatred. I know hate's a strong word, but that's literally the word I mean. I did have this hatred towards women about something that I had in my heart. And now, like, I want to be a better person, I want to be in relationships, and obviously to do that I have to take care of myself. This is not the best me, right? This is not the best me. I'm not projecting right now the best me at the moment, and I know this. I'm self-aware of this. I want to work towards that. But there's things I want to self-improve, but I'm just happy about the fact that I identified the issue. I identified the issue, and I want to do something to... I want to start working in here. I know I said that already, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited, but I was kind of thinking, because I don't think this is a scenario of a boy who cries wolf, right? I sincerely think, in both my mind and my heart, because I felt it in my heart when I was, I was in the truck and I was kind of forgiving my stepmom. Like, the abuse runs deep in my heart, and I was kind of like sitting there trying to be the best person I could be, driving to Fallon, and I was just kind of forgiving my stepmom. It's like, she probably has hurt too. That doesn't excuse her behavior. It's her responsibility to work on that, and she just chooses not to. But she's projecting her the abuse she got, she's projecting that towards other people, and I got caught up in that. But it's not, I don't want to blame my stepmom, like point the finger, like it's your fault, like I'm like this. It's like, no, it's my responsibility to step up and correct myself and to be a better person. Yeah, it's my responsibility to take action. And that is something I want to do. And I was kind of thinking, I think it might be easy for people, especially men, to like, because basically when people think of, some people might think people are crying wolf, because it's like, oh, this is the problem, you know, for like false alarm stuff. But it's kind of like, and I'm sure that people do have been abused and they feel victimized by it. But when they reach out to somebody, some people might be like, oh, you know, it's not true. What you're saying is not true, because you obviously don't seem like that. And I was kind of thinking, you know, when somebody is, I have a friend, she was sexually abused, and you could tell, because the way she presents herself, you could tell she was sexually abused, like just by the way she presents herself. And a lot of women are sexually abused, but it's kind of like, how do you tell if someone went through this experience by the way they present themselves? Some people can identify women or that have been sexually abused. Some can't. Some, it's kind of harder for them to see that. And I was kind of thinking, like, with men that are emotionally abused, how do you identify that? I would think it's very hard. So if someone says, you know, emotional abuse did happen in the past, I think it's really easy to be like, you know, just shut up, you know. It's like, you're fine, you know. You know, you're fine, keep calm, carry on, all that, man up. But I don't think saying those things isn't that doing that person any service, because what they are is that they're repressing it. I had this problem, and I came to the realization a while ago, and my dad actually, as a matter of fact, had this problem. My dad suffered from severe depression, and a lot of that stemmed from is that he repressed all of his emotions. My dad was not a very emotionally strong person. I'm aware of this. I think I'm an emotionally strong person, right? But I don't think emotional strength is repressing everything. Are there times to quote unquote man up? Absolutely. But am I going to man up 24/7? No. I cuss. I'm sorry. It's exhausting, but I don't think you're doing yourself a service by doing that all the time. You have to identify the issue and release it. You can't repress. You can't repress emotions. You have to get your emotions out there. That's what I'm trying to do in this video. I'm projecting my emotions to try to heal myself, but also kind of talk about it. I don't think a lot of guys talk about emotional abuse. And I want to tackle this head on. I'm very enthusiastic about doing this, but you know, you kind of have to identify the problem to solve it, not just for your benefit, but as a man. I'm talking about this as a man. You need to solve that problem, just not for your benefit, but for the benefit in your community. So you could be a better person, so you could be a better person in your community, and your community would be better. Your family would be better, your neighborhood would be better, because of addressing these issues. And interestingly enough, when I was listening to the Roommates podcast, they were talking about men that are victims of emotional abuse end up projecting that in a sexual way. Like, they think that sexual activity is going to cure their emotional abuse, Um, I I'm not gonna lie, I fall from this, and I guess it's something that's inherent, that just kind of happens, like it's in their programming or whatever. But now that I address the issue, I can work on that, right? I don't want to. What I'm trying to say is that I've never sexually abused anybody, because I value personal intimacy. I value personal space. Never sexually molest a woman, because that's wrong. I identify that that's morally wrong. That's not okay behavior. I never have. What I'm talking about is more like strip clubs and stuff like that. Thinking that, if I go to a strip club or something, it will solve my problems. That's what I'm kind of talking about. That's what it was like for me. But apparently, unfortunately, there are men that project they do sexual active things thinking it's going to cure their emotional abuse, but sometimes what happens is that they rape, I think that's a term, they sexually abuse women thinking that it's going to cure their emotional abuse. And it's kind of this vicious cycle of abuse, right? And it seems like that is a trend. That is actually what's happening, is that men that are emotionally abused and not dealing with that are lashing out, and they're sexually abusing women. There, I finally got it. That's what I'm trying to say. And that is a vicious cycle, and it needs to stop. But I think that needs to happen where men identify their emotional abuse. Like, I'm trying to identify my emotional abuse, and I'm putting steps forward, and also men putting steps forward. Like, I just started this journey, to be completely honest. I just identified this the other day, and I'm super excited because now I know I've identified the problem, and I want to solve the problem. I'm very happy about this. But I think men need to not say, like, oh, man up, be a man. It's like, no, be emotional. You're not a pansy. Because you know why I say that? Because being emotional is hard. It's hard, right? So, to me, being a man is sometimes doing things that is like take the road less traveled, or do things that are hard, because they are right, even though that they're hard. I think addressing your emotions is hard. It was hard for me. I've kind of learned over the years that that's okay. And I think it is hard for other men to address their emotions. Some men don't know how to address their emotions. Like my dad, he had no I'm cussing, sorry. He had no idea how to address his emotions. I've met other men that don't know how to address their emotions, and they project this absolute hatred that comes from, I see it, they project this hatred that I know comes from within on the other people, and that's not right. Unfortunately, that's what happens, and that needs to change. I want to be a wholehearted person, wholehearted and well-rounded, and I wasn't. And I knew that, and that bothered me, but I didn't know why, and I identified the issue. I think other men need to do the same. Do we circle back to the main point? I think we did. There, we did it, guys. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to do that video, this video, kind of vent a little bit, put the kind of like, it's okay, address the problem. You're doing everybody a favor by doing so. Healing isn't linear. It's not a linear process. It just doesn't happen immediately, or you might do some healing now. You might step aside for like a moment, and then you'll go back to healing, and then one day it's like you're gonna discover that, oh, you're fully cured. That's the process, and that's why I'm scared of this healing journey thing. I'm actually petrified of it, because it's gonna be so hard. I know that, but it's not gonna happen overnight, and it's scary. I'm scared, right? Healing, like I really am scared. I'm petrified. Like I have to start, talking the women. I can be charismatic. I'm not really charismatic on here. Something, I don't know. I feel like I'm more charismatic in real life than I am on here. This is you're seeing my real dysfunction, right? And how I try to hide it in real life. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'm so scared. But I have to face the fear. No, there's something. Yeah, okay. I'm talking in circles, and I'm not talking very linearly. Healing is not linear. It's not gonna happen overnight. It might take a long time. I don't know. I just started this journey. It might take me years. It might take me a month. I don't think. I seriously doubt it's gonna take me a couple days. It's gonna take me longer than a couple days. Do you know what? I have a really great ending, strong in the fact that iron sharpens iron. Men sharpen men. And I think men need to like let their guard down, you know, and talk to other men about it, because that needs to happen. It's something that I don't think, if I were to talk about this with a woman, I don't think there wouldn't be a whole lot of help, you know, there wouldn't be a whole lot of healing going on. But I think if I talk about this with another man and men help other men with this scenario, there would be a lot more healing and it would be a lot more powerful. All right, we're pushing on a 30-minute video. I have to go do these things. Thank you for listening, guys. I just wanted to put that out there. I wish you luck, wish me luck with my heart surgery and all that, and my journey of healing and my self-awareness. Hope you got something from this video, because I did. It was really nice to do it. Well, anyway, I'm not going to hold you too long. I'm going to let you go. Take care of you guys. Hey guys, how's it going? I forgot to mention, like and subscribe, comment. I would love your feedback. You know, comment, like the video, that would be great. Also subscribe. My only 2 subscribers at the moment are my mom and my nephew. You know, that's great, but I need you too. You know, I asked my cousin to subscribe to my channel, and she's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. She didn't do it. Don't be my cousin. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Ciao.